How's it going, everybody? Your New England Patriots moved to 3-0 on the preseason with a 10-3 victory over the Carolina Panthers. The Patriots covered the -4 spread and under on the 42.5 over/under. So if you bet on the game, there's your gambling information. Tom Brady started the game with his first action of this preseason, went 8 of 12, 75 yards, and 83.7 quarterback rating. Jarrett Stidham took over halfway through the second quarter and went the rest of the way. 15 of 19, 134 yards, 96.1 QBR. The lone touchdown of the game came from fullback James Devlin down at the 1-yard line. Brady looked great. Best Brady's looked in the preseason game in a while. Some zip on those balls to Philip Dorsett, Ryan Izzo, the tight end. Brady looked phenomenal. Had some zip on those balls, as I just said. Not an arm strength problem. So as time goes on, that's a good sign, obviously, that Brady looked that good. Stidham, it feels like he's getting progressively worse as each game has gone on this preseason, but he's a rookie, so can't really flip out too much about that one. So we'll focus primarily tonight on my 3 stars of the game and my 3 duds of the game. Number 1 star of the game, Sony Michel, had a great game. Saw some things from him that you didn't see last year. I was sure many times in the broadcast you heard Scott Zolak say that he was lowering his shoulder, embracing contact, taking tackles, and breaking them. Great game from him. I thought he really impressed at running back, which is big because Damian Harris got hurt, and Rex Burkhead might not make the team. We'll get to Rex Burkhead later on. Number 2 up, and this is going to sound corny because of his position, but Jake Bailey, this punter. I've never in my life seen a punter get this much hang time. He kicks the ball, and you're like, where'd it go? You think that it got sucked up into space. Unbelievable. I mean, this guy's going to be a weapon for a while. I see why Ryan Allen was released. And we wish the best to Ryan Allen. I mean, if it weren't for Julian Edelman, Ryan Allen very well, and I'm not joking in the least here. Ryan Allen very easily could have won Super Bowl MVP. Very easily could have if it weren't for Julian Edelman's great game. I mean, that was a battle of field position on all of Ryan Allen's punts. He was pinning the Rams deep in their own territory, and Jared Goff couldn't go that far. So big part of that Super Bowl was Ryan Allen's punts. And Philip Dorsett. I know there's a lot of questions about this wide receiver position with Gordon's reinstatement, Thomas coming off the PUP, and Edelman coming off the PUP. Those 3, it feels like, should make the team. Matthew Slater obviously doesn't count. So that leaves a little bit of wiggle room. They'll probably carry 5 to 6 receivers. I personally would like the idea of Dorsett on the team because he's got experience with Brady. Maurice Harris doesn't. Braxton Berrios was on the practice squad last year, so I guess you could say Brady's thrown to him barely in practice and in shells. So I barely count him. Damoun Patterson, he's probably going to get cut. They've already cut Danny Etling, already cut Dontrell Inman. So this receiving group is a big battle. I think Dorsett should get the last spot over Maurice Harris simply because of the experience. Tom Brady knows him. Tom Brady's played with him. Tom Brady trusts him. That big pass in the AFC Championship game, as we saw. So Dorsett should make this team, and that's just my opinion. So obviously, there's a lot been going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Now my downs of the game, first and foremost, Brian Hoyer. And I know he didn't play a snap, but that's why he's the number 1 down for me. Because we've seen in years past with Bill Belichick, when the quarterback doesn't play the 3rd preseason game, that typically means he's gone. 2013, Tim Tebow didn't play the 3rd preseason game, cut. 2014, Ryan Mallett didn't play the 3rd preseason game, cut. 2015, Ryan Lindley didn't play the 3rd preseason game, cut. 2016, extenuating circumstances for the Brady suspension, that was different. 2017, Jacoby Brissett didn't play the 3rd game, traded. And last year, Danny Etling didn't play the 3rd game, practice squatted, switched to receiver, released. So you have to imagine, it certainly feels like Brian Hoyer's time with the Patriots, for his second stint with the Patriots, is coming to an end. And I don't have a problem with that. Again, I like Brian Hoyer. I think he's professional. I think he's a good backup. But if Tom Brady were to get hurt this year, it'd be really kind of pointless giving the reps to Hoyer when you can get reps to Stidham, your possible quarterback of the future. Get him some reps. Get him game time. And that'd really just be a waste. And Hoyer deserves better. I mean, as much as I mock Hoyer, he's a good backup. Hoyer can go get a good backup job. You may be in a Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers gets hurt like he does every year, and then he steps in. So that's good on Hoyer. Second down for me, Jacoby Myers. And I know he caught 7 passes, all from Jarrett Stidham. Did not look good with Tom Brady at all. Stopped running a route. A couple passes hit him right in his hands, dropped him. That was just not a good game from Jacoby Myers. And you don't need another Brian Tims here. Brian Tims, you remember, was always seemed to be Jimmy Garoppolo's favorite target, but could never get on the same page with Brady. So Myers is a big down. I think Myers is still worth a shot carrying on the team because he's shown some flashes. I think he's worth bringing into the season. I'm not going to flip out over one bad game, but he didn't look good. Not with Brady, and that's what matters. Just did not look good. And my last down is Rex Burkhead. 2 carries. Feels like he's probably on his way out. Sony Michel, obviously James White, Damian Harris, Brendan Bolton's back. I mean, Burkhead's a good special teamer, so he might make the team because of that. But I don't see Burkhead making this roster. Burkhead is just, I like Burkhead. He's contributed a lot. Obviously, the game winner in the AFC Championship game last year. But, it really is kind of pointless at this point to carry Burkhead on this team because you don't need it. It's just a wasted roster spot. I understand there's no such thing as too many running backs because there's so many injuries at that position. But I think Burkhead's gone. On the defense, how can you not be excited? One thing I feared with Brian Flores' departure from Miami was that this aggressive mentality you saw from the Patriots last year, where they got after it. They got after the quarterback. They went after him. Didn't get a lot of sacks, but got a lot of pressure. And in the playoffs, it really ramped up. You saw they pressured Phillip Rivers, pressured Patrick Mahomes, and made Jared Goff a mental case. So I was worried when Flores left that would go with him. But it feels like, Gerard Mayo has taken over the play calling along with Stephen Belichick, and it hasn't gone away. And that's the best part. That aggressive play calling, along with the fact it feels like the Patriots have started to hit on some draft picks again, because they went through a drafting rut. But these last two, Isaiah Wynn looks great at left tackle. Sony Michel, obviously a great pick last year. Touchdowns in the playoffs, Super Bowl game winner. But on the defense, Chase Winovich, all these picks on defense, from there on down. Mike Pennell might make the team, might not. Just looks like a great young core starting to develop here. Michael Bennett got his first game action with the team. So those are some positive developments. The Patriots will wrap up the preseason this Thursday night with that 4th preseason game against the Giants. Should be an audition for guys to make other teams. You can't figure you're going to see Brady. Probably not going to see Stidham either. I have to imagine that Brian Hoyer is going to play this entire game. And so, again, that's probably another sign that he's gone. Not going to see, I don't think you're going to see Eli Manning or Daniel Jones on the other side for the Giants. Probably see Kyle Lauletta. So, thank you for watching. Patriots move to 3-0 with a 10-3 victory over the Panthers. I'll be back with a preview for the Giants game later this week. Thank you for watching. Go Pats.